subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any update.
गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू. एकदम नवीन बॅच आहे ना तुमची, स्टार्ट एकदम. तर तुम्हाला फार हायफाय नाही सांगायचं, कारण यूपीएससी हायफाय परीक्षा नाही. सगळ्यात प्रथम काय झालं, यूपीएससी फार अवघड आहे वगैरे वगैरे. ते झालं तुमच्यातल्या खेड्यातले बऱ्यापैकी दिसते चेहऱ्यावरून तरी. म्हणजे सुरुवातीचे म्हणलं पुण्यात 6 महिने लागतात बदलायला माणसाला कपडे, थोडी भाषा. बरोबर आहे का नाही? बरं ठीक आहे. आज काय अपेक्षा आहे तुम्हाला जास्त? यूपीएससी बद्दल जनरल सांगू का डायरेक्ट एकदम अभ्यासाला सुरुवात करू? जनरल तुम्हाला फार लोकांनी मोठे स्ट्रगल वगैरे कोणाचाच नाही. ब्रँडेड कपडे घालून अभ्यास केला स्ट्रगल नाही. तिसऱ्या अटेम्प्टला झालोय. आहे खेड्यातला प्रश्न तो नसतो. उगा स्ट्रगलचं ग्लोरिफिकेशन केलं जातं. खरंच प्रत्येकाची स्टोरी वेगळी असते, सांगायची गरज नाही. तुम्ही पहिल्या अटेम्प्टमध्ये व्हावा यासाठी तिथं लेक्चर लावलं ऍक्च्युली, बाकी काहीच नाही. आम्हाला लागले 3 अटेम्प्ट. शिकले पाहिजे तुम्ही काहीतरी. प्रत्येकाच्या फेल्युअरमधनं काहीतरी लर्निंग असतं, एक्सपिरियन्स असतो, तो खूप महत्वाचा आहे. त्याच्यामुळे ते न सुरू करता डायरेक्ट GS1चा आपण सुरुवात करू अभ्यास. बरोबर? तसं माझा सोशिओलॉजी विषय असल्यामुळं आय विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन इंडियन सोसायटी मोर. बरं, कम्पेअर टू दॅट पहिलं इतिहास आणि दुसरं भूगोल. आर यू कम्फर्टेबल विथ मराठी? ठीक आहे. हां ॲक्च्युली थोडंफार इंग्लिश, थोडंफार मराठी इन बिटवीन. तसं एवढं काही हायफाय नाही ना आपलं सगळं अजून. GS1चा सिलेबस कोणाकडे आहे का इथं आत्ता? हां ठीक आहे. बरं, तुमच्यापैकी NCERT वाचायला किती लोकांनी सुरुवात केली? हाऊ मेनी हॅव? ओके, सो व्हेरी वेल प्रिपेअर्ड, प्लॅन डिसिजन. ठीक आहे. सो इंडियन हेरिटेज अँड कल्चर. व्हॉट आर द रिसोर्सेस वी हॅव टू रिफर? फर्स्ट बेसिक RS Sharma, old NCERT. Don't go for themes in world history, Indian history. That is quite boring. Compared to that, only one comprehensive book, Ancient India by RS Sharma. Very few books you have to read. In order to become IS, you have to read hardly 12 books and 8 hours per day study. So leave that fact that once you start UPSC, people will say that you have to read 50 books and you have to study for 14 to 50 hours. You are 15 hours. You are not a robot, not an automaton. You are a human being. So 8 to 10 hours of consistent study along with good guidance. So first book RS Sharma. Second, Introduction to Indian Fine Arts, 11th NCERT. Introduction to Indian Fine Arts, NCERT. Focus on NCERT because it's authentic source, and UPSC is a government body, so it is focusing on authentic sources. Then go for any comprehensive note. You can go for Balian, you can go for Nitin Singhania, but Nitin Singhania is good for prelims because it is objective approach. But for mains, I think these 2 books, RS Sharma along with Introduction to Indian Fine Arts, is more than enough. See, read the syllabus carefully because interpretation of the syllabus is very important. Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art forms, literature and architecture. These are the only 3 topics, and most of the questions will come from that. If you have seen this year's paper, see Vijayanagara question, that was like architecture or literature question. So that kind of Indus Valley, Stupa, that kind of question belongs to these topics only, art forms, literature or architecture. For prelims, syllabus is more than mains, at least in case of ancient India. Then Indian history, modern India, right? For prelims, I will tell you Spectrum. Spectrum publication, Rajiv Ahir, Modern India. Before that, go for Modern India by Bipin Chandra, old NCERT. Book is available in Vedanta. Don't go to ABC, they will charge 450, Vedanta will charge 150. That is true, na? They have actually, NCERT is old pattern, so they have removed NCERT and they are selling a hard copy. Because of that, they are charging more. Then Bipin Chandra, Introduction to Indian, Tanantar, Post-Independent India. For that, Political Science NCERT, 11th and 12th NCERT. Even vision booklet is available, hardly 50 pages. And hardly one question. So, first of all, UPSC You need a priorities, means for world history, sir actually complained me yesterday that people are studying world history for 15 days and only one question is coming. This year I couldn't solve that question, see. So 15 days is lost. So you have to decide to which part you have to give more focus, okay? First statement. Then world history. Read the syllabus carefully. For that, read Arjun Dev's NCERT, old NCERT, world history. These are the basic sources, but this year 20 questions in paper 1 were from NCERT in mains. For all these ancient, modern and world, Balian notes are available. So after reading these resources, you go for Balian, very simple language, and you can cover syllabus within 2 to 3 days, like a revision notes. Reading of syllabus is very industrial revolution. Then read syllabus, industrial revolution, World War I, World War II. Then read role of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization. This time question was from decolonization. I never studied this much minutely, but after third attempt, I realized that careful reading of syllabus is of prime importance. Then salient features of Indian society, diversity of India. As we are a part of Indian society, we know most of the things. So role of women and women's organization. Here there is a link between modern India and Indian society because like since 1910, Bharat Sri Mahamandal, from that first women's organization to today's, whether it's Medha Patkar or someone from JNU. So that kind of social movement you have to remember in women's organization. Impact of feminist movement all over the world, how they are impacting Indian women's organization, Indian women's social movement, okay. Then population and associated issues. Population and associated issues cover. There is a problem of population bomb or demographic dividend. So we have to think in that way. Here comes the general studies, paper 2, paper 3. In UPSC, you need not to follow a very strict approach, silos mentality, okay, that this is a paper 1, so I will be following only paper 1's books. No, you have to use material from paper 2, paper 3. This time there were 2 to 3 questions in geography. They were from polity paper, like China, South China Sea dispute. Such kind of questions like Indus water treaty. That is actually paper 2 question, but they came into paper 1. So we can't be so rigid about that, okay, I will be following these resources. So population and associated issues. This is just a headline, but in that you have to follow what can be the issues related to population. So first I will, population bomb. Second, demographic dividend. So how to reap demographic dividend? Here you need to do some facts, basic things. So like by 2020, average age of Indians will be 29. How much skilled person we are having, talk about health system, talk about education system, how to reap demographic dividend. Otherwise this demographic dividend will become a liability instead of asset. So such kind of issues you have to cover in under the umbrella of population and associated issues. Poverty and development issues. So first, everything. What is poverty? Basic things. We have to start from the basic. What we forget during this preparation is we never do basics, and UPSC actually is like going back to the Vedas, like going back to the basic this time. NCERT, they are focusing on NCERT, either in both in prelims and mains. So poverty and development issues. What are the issues because of poverty? Someone can tell. गरीब आहेत ना आपण सगळे असं म्हणतो ना, तो what are the issues because of poverty? Malnutrition. Lack of basic amenities, malnutrition, so many associated issues with poverty and development. Child malnutrition, hunger, so many issues are related to poverty. What can be? Then problem of woman. If woman from a poor background is there, so what can be the impact on her future generation? Malnourished child will be there, so that child will be, he will not get proper education, so no proper skills, again demographic dividend. So such kind of issues you need to interlink. That is what UPSC is. How many books you read, UPSC it doesn't ask. How much that interlinking skill you possess during this preparation, that is going to be very important. Then urbanization, VCR, we are living in Pune. So Pune, what are the problems of Pune? Try to be very acute observer of your surrounding. What are the problems in Pune? Tell me fast. First, then cleanliness. Then sanitation, we can use proper word, sanitation. Then waste management, drinking water. At least 50 problems are there in Pune or any city of India. So we need to remember at least 10, because in UPSC you will be having hardly 8 to 9 minutes per question. So what I want to say that for the here book will not help you. You being a good observer of your surrounding. So because of that, solid waste management, sanitation, traffic, so many. Then these are like environmental aspects you're covering. Then go to social aspects. What is the status of women in cities? What is the status of children? What is the status of aged? What is the status of disabled? That is what sociology will be. It will be helping you a lot. You're covered only environmental or whatever you see, whatever you observe, but social aspects. What are the problem of women? Hinjewadi. So many like rapes or sexual harassment cases are being noticed because of IT industry. See, such kind of problem you have to bring into, and it is like a case study. What is case study? This is a case study because Pune being a special city between that IT or manufacturing, both are there. So because of IT, what are the problems? So that is a social aspect. You have covered environmental aspect. Then what are the political problems in cities? People are not willing to vote. All politicians are corrupt. All bureaucrats are corrupt. This is the kind of perception we have, and they take that election day as a holiday. So they are not having any right to criticize these people. So because we being a callous, we are not concerned about our own rights. Right to vote is a very important right. UPSC is asking questions in prelims also. See that kind of importance it is having. So such kind of problem. You are covering only one aspect, but in UPSC you need a multiple kind of perspective, multi-dimensional approach you need. Political, social, economic. What are the economic problems in cities now? What can be the problems? Economic aspect. Obviously in cities all people are not rich, so inequalities. Rich people, poor people. Proliferation of slums. Yes. Dominance of informal sector. All industries are not Tatas and Mahindras. There are so many small companies. They are being actually perished due to impact of globalization or competition. So such kind of problem you have to bring. Under the umbrella of cities, see, these many, you know most of the problems. I'm not telling out of the blue that these are the problems. But these problems we observe, but we need to develop that kind of attitude, that kind of insight, so that we can think from multiple perspectives, multi-dimensional approach we need. So urbanization, these are the problems I have told. So accordingly problem, we are having so many solutions. Government is coming up with so many schemes. First one is smart cities, then Amrut, then Hriday, then Pantapradhan Awas Yojana. So many schemes. And you have to bring government schemes, because in solution, whatever, if they are not working, it is a different matter. That is a technical matter. But once it is being asked how the problem cities can be solved, you have to bring most of the government schemes. And then you can criticize them, but at least bring the government schemes. That gives you more marks. Take this exam as an aspirant, not like I want to know all the things. Don't be expertise. If you insist that I want to know all the things, you can't be encyclopedia in UPSC, because in UPSC anything can be asked under the sun and even above the sun. Then effects of globalization on Indian society. Tell me the definition of globalization first. Raise the hand and tell me. We are the children of globalization. Please tell me definition of globalization. Okay. Then good, first one. Then at least 100 definitions are there. Okay. But what is global village? You can order clothes, shoes in villages now from Amazon. So that is example of global village. So what are the facilities available in New York? If they are available in your own village, that is the concept of global village, and that is the impact of globalization. Then so many things. Social media. Then what we can say, globalization. Free movement of capital, ideas, labor, right? Technology transfer, FDI, that is the example of globalization, because with FDI there, along with capital, technology is being come. Then service sector. India is like a dominant player in service sector. What we are doing, outsourcing. That is an example of globalization. So many facets, and this is very important topic, globalization. Not only in paper one, but it is having huge significance in essay paper. Anyone wants to tell something different about globalization? Exactly, it's true. So I will tell you, na, minimum 100 definitions are there of globalization, because what we see is everything is globalization. Its impact, effect on Indian society. What is Indian society? First topic itself is the salient features of Indian. Actually, I forgot to ask, what are the salient features of Indian society? First, diversity. Tell me at least 10 qualities or 10 attributes of Indian society. First, second, culture. Then, third, good. Then, unity and diversity. Fourth, sovereign is not see, all countries are sovereign and it is not about society. Then, huh? Good. Then, sixth, what we see is Indian society. We are a product of Indian society. What? Secular. Then, status of woman. That can be covered under the umbrella of patriarchal. Okay, then. Seventh, pluralism. Most important character is we are having a caste. Ji Zaat ne Ti Zaat. That is a special quality of Indian society. You see, caste is there in even cities. Then, okay, that is everywhere. In America also there is a diversity in lifestyle. Something about Indian society. Democratic. Most of the countries in the world are democratic. Some are communist. Social? Okay, that is okay, but still not can be the quality. What is there in Indian constitution? Most of them are reflection of Indian society. Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. And India, if you read R.S. Sharma, you will see most of the qualities of India being manifested there itself. Tolerance. Because see, at Ajanta, at one time, at Ellora, at one time, actually monuments of 3 different religions were being constructed. That is the perfect example of tolerance being practiced in India since ancient times. Nowadays it seems to be there is a rise of intolerance, but still India is a tolerant society. Then pluralism, I told you, multiple languages, multiple castes, multiple religions, so many things, multiple. That is pluralism. You have to like describe such kind of tolerance, pluralism, then elaborate it. How tolerance? I just told you one example. There are so many examples of tolerance, pluralism. Then what can be? Society. Continuity and change. How you can elaborate? There are some institutions or some things which are actually changed as well as they continue. Example, take caste. Caste in certain aspects it has changed, but still it is there. Continuity and change. Yeah, customs can be, like patriarchal is one of the customs. There are, you can come up with so many things about Indian society. Secular, tolerant, these are there, but still more facts can be brought about that. So what is the effect of globalization on Indian society? So I told you these are the qualities of Indian society, but what are the constituents of Indian society? And UPSC is asking question about effect of globalization on the aged people, that is one. Effect of globalization of women, effect of globalization on children. So different constituents, effect of globalization on caste, marriage, family, such kind of questions they are asking. So I will tell you one framework for this kind of answer, at least this globalization, that is very good. Just to play, interplay of keywords. There are 6 to 7 words you have to remember. Then 6 to 7 institutions like marriage, family, caste. That kind of thing I will tell you. Then social empowerment. What is empowerment? Every day we hear of woman empowerment. What is that empowerment? Strength. Please come up with some definitions. Very good definition. That is what UPSC needs. Social, political, economic, such kind of things are there. You see, it's very simplistic, but such kind of things will give you mark. You need marks, you don't need to be expert. That is my first strategy, because I have also wasted 1 year in being, I want to know everything. So don't be so fuzzy about that key. I should know everything. No. No one will know. Even Nandini got failed in 2015, 2016, she is the topper. So such kind of exam is UPSC. A person having 50% marks can clear the UPSC. A person with 97, 98 marks or at least 199 mark in CET couldn't clear the UPSC. That is what UPSC needs. So it's a different kind of exam. Just remember it. It's not about intelligence, it's about emotional intelligence, which you will study in ethics. Then communalism. What is communalism? I want interactive session. I don't want to tell you. I will tell everything. That is not. But you know, see, though you being a mere beginner, still you understand. You have completed graduation, most of you, or just like second year, first year. Still, but 12th means it's a modern generation, advanced generation. Hindu-Muslim conflict, communalism. But what is communalism? Very good. It is given in Bipin Chandra. Communalism. In history, that definition has been given. Good. Actually, when two communities think that our interests are antagonistic to each other, that kind of thing means it's like on the basis of religion, basically. Communalism deals with religion. Suppose a particular A religion thinks that interests of religion B are against us, so they fight. So very small cause can actually cause a volcano in the form of communalism. So you know Godhra riots, 1984 Sikh conflict. So such kind of example you have to remember, even Muzaffarpur in 2013. Then regionalism. What is regionalism? This much you know. To a certain extent, but better wording can be done, but still okay. That is okay, but still other definition. A blind devotion towards one region. महाराष्ट्रापेक्षा काहीच भारी नाही. That is regionalism. We say na, आमचा महाराष्ट्र, आमची मुंबई. That is an example of, that is not bad at all. You have to take in a neutral terms. You being a UPSC aspirant, that doesn't mean that I don't like Mumbai. So you have to think in UPSC you don't need to bring ideology. First of all, you will read the Hindu, Indian Express, but still these are like editorials written by some person. He will be having some value system, some ideology. So you have to get detached from that. In the initial phase you will not understand, but slowly you will develop that kind of skill, and that is very much needed. You don't have to be ideological. In UPSC you have to have both sides, like both sides of the coin you have to cover, like pros and cons. This is not the only thing. Other thing can be possible. Such kind of attitude of a civil servant is needed. So regionalism. So on what basis regionalism is happening in India? What are the bases? First I told you region like state, then language, amchi Marathi, then what can be the other basis? Okay, third, then? Yes, natural resources. What is the example of that? That is the natural resources I will explain, after that I will come. So separate demand for Vidarbha, natural resources. Because Vidarbha is having most of the like natural resources in the form of iron, manganese and all. So Vidarbha is willing to have a different state at least. So that is an example. You have to give example, basic examples you have to explain. What is the other reason? Can be one. You have to just remember for such kind of things, there are different states being formed over a period of time. So on what basis they have been formed? Jharkhand. Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, recently Telangana. What have been the factors responsible? These are the basis of formation, these are the basis on which regionalism is happening in our country. So language is there, ethnicity is there, culture is there. In Telangana, what used to happen, they are having same language, Telugu. But you know, in Telugu movies, people from Telangana region used to be shown in a lower position. Menial labor, like manual labor they used to be shown. And people belonging to Andhra region, recently Rayalaseema and all that, they being shown in a higher position. So cultural aspect is there. They being shown in a lower position. So though they are having same language. This is the only one factor. There are second other factor like natural resources like Ari Vidarbha. This is how you have to decode your syllabus. Just regionalism is not just a definition. You have to see all the nitty-gritty aspect of regionalism. Means can be the basis, what are the causes, what are the consequences, what can be the solution. Giving Vidarbha as a different state is the only solution to stop regionalism in Maharashtra? No. So what can be the solutions? Here comes your polity, economics, everything will come. Na? If it is allowed in constitution, then we will form a separate state. We have to consider economic aspects. Multi-dimensional approach is the keyword for today's lecture. That's it. Means you have to think from different perspectives. In the starting phase, I am not expecting that you should come up with 7 to 8 dimensions, but it's just a start. And in the start, if you get a proper approach, that is what guidance is. Secularism. Someone said in salient feature of Indian society is we are secular. What is being secular? Good. Then, actually, there are different aspects of secularism. In Western countries, secularism means separation of church from state. In Indian context, secularism means principal distance from all religion. State will treat all religion, whether it is Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, all religions, they will treat equally. That is secularism. Sarva dharma samabhav, dharma nirpekshata. What say? That is secularism. Then, do you think that project of secularism has succeeded in India? Such kind of questions can be framed on this topic. Then what are the threats to Indian national integration in this? Threat to secularism can be brought. Then communalism is against almost secularism. We being secular means actually significance of religion is declining due to modernizing forces. What are the modernizing forces? Globalization, modernization, industrialization, urbanization. These are the modernizing forces because of which significance of religion in different sphere of human endeavor like social, economic, political, psychological sphere, religion is declining. That is being said like secularism. But is it very true? Do you think that religion is dying today? Do you think? Do you think religion has died today, that we have become scientific, practical, just using WhatsApp and Facebook? That means religion has died in India today. So what is then? In Pune, nobody goes to temple, do you think? We are having Vitthal temple here itself in Navi Pet. So, see, religion is not dying, its format, or you can say its structure is being changed. But in that, see, your modernizing forces are actually helping to, or incentivizing to grow religion. Like religious revivalism is seeing. E-religion we are seeing now. We are getting Shirdi Darshan online. We are getting Balaji Darshan online. That is called e-religion. We are having channels like Astha, Sanskar. In the morning we for Sanskar. See, this is religion. So religion hasn't died. Its significance is changing according to the needs and requirements of our time. Previous generation was quite, you can say, religious. We are religious but in a different sense. Because see, in today's society, we are saying we are a modern society due to job. A lot of stress is coming, right? So in order to diffuse that stress, frustration, people are going to the Guru Shet. So this is religion. So it is called as religious revivalism. These are the topics in sociology, but I will cover itself because you need to use some terms. I will actually mention those terms. Anything about religion? What is religion and science debate? Very general. Everyone knows we are studying science since like 5th standard. So how there is a relationship between religion and science? Whether they are contradictory, whether they are complementary. Again, multidimensional approach, both. They are contradictory as well as complementary. Because problems of our life, modern life, are not being solved by science. Because of science, actually, most of the problems are being solved. But see, stress is coming. Continuous use of WhatsApp. That compulsive disorders are becoming. So why? Science is creating so many problems. So in order to find purpose or meaning to life, people are taking resort to religion nowadays. So religion and science are both contradictory as well as complementary. How they are contradictory? Religion is very subjective. According to you, religion is different. According to me, religion is different. But science is science. Science is an objective, subjective you can say, right? It's objective. Temperature, pressure, Boyle's law, Charles' law, they are fixed. They are empirical. They are having some proof. But in religion, there is no proof that it exists or doesn't exist. So religion is subjective. Science is objective. That is one aspect of being contradictory. But complementary, like in some field, like in medicine, suppose. Science has contributed, bedaquiline, drug for TB. It has contributed a lot. But still, it hasn't solved the problems of all the problems of our life. So religion is playing a role. So history is covered. Society is covered. How many of you have read the NCERTs of geography? With which book you started? 8th standard. 8th, 9th, 10th, and then most important, 2 NCERTs of 11th. Then go for G.C. Leong. Or before reading 11th NCERT, go for G.C. Leong. G.C. Leong is a very good book for world's physical geography. Pictorial views are given in colored. Someone might have given book list for UPSC, right? So some orientation lecture. So this is available with. Then go for one atlas. Don't do atlas during only prelims. Give 15 days to 15 minutes per day to atlas. You just see where is Maharashtra, where is Gujarat, first India. Then go for world. How many countries are in Africa? Where is Rwanda? If it is in news, like Kigali agreement was in news. So where is Rwanda? Which countries actually borders Rwanda? Such kind of questions are being asked in prelim. This time they asked some about Mediterranean Sea because of ISIS and migration of people from Syria and Iraq to Europe. That is in the news. So UPSC will not ask nonsense and irrational questions. So there will be some context in current. So geography, you have to do 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th, 11th, G.C. Leong, Atlas. For prelims, syllabus of geography is more compared to mains. See, in mains, syllabus is quite limited. Salient features of world's physical geography, the whole book of G.C. Leong or 11th physical NCERT covers this topic. You have to read this NCERT at least 5 times. Totally depends on your grasping power, but at least 5 times you should read. One needs to read that much. Then you see interpretation of syllabus here, distribution of key natural resources across the world. So how many continents in the world? So in all the continents you have to see the distribution of iron, sulfur, copper and so many natural resources. In the world they have explicitly mentioned. Then factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary, tertiary sector. So you know the distinction between primary, secondary, tertiary? So someone can stand up and tell me. Nobody? To a certain extent, you are right, exactly. So in primary, like mining, raw material extraction, basically that is primary. Then in secondary, manufacturing sector, use of raw material to create some products. In tertiary, service sector. Then there are quaternary, then quinary, and IS being the quinary sector. It's called as golden collar job. Why? It's quinary. Because policy making involves in quinary. In quaternary, research and development. So see, sector-wise classification is there. In geography book, everything is mentioned actually about this. In 12th NCERT, you have to go for 12th NCERT for this distribution of resources. But thing is that data is quite outdated, so you have to update yourself with some. Vision will come up with some natural resources, that booklet, so you have to go for that. Don't read so many books for first topic GC11, then second topic different books. Go for whatever material is available in the market. You have to save the time and you have to think in terms of cost and benefit analysis. Don't be expert, that is the thing. Then important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone. Everything is covered in GC Leong. Even geography NCERT, 11th NCERT. Geography 11th NCERT, both NCERT are very important. All the questions of mains are being asked from those two since 2013 to this year. All the questions are being asked from 11th NCERT. So see the kind of devotion, attention you have to pay to that kind of book. Then geographical features and their locational changes. Okay, in critical geographic features, okay. Water bodies, ice cap, in flora and fauna. In this part, you have to go for Shankar. Shankar you will read for prelims, right? So it is a part of environment like climate change. What is the impact of melting of glaciers in Himalayas on Indian monsoon? Such kind of questions, they will be in the, so such kind of questions will be covered from Shankar, as well as you have to go for current. So what more you want to know about paper 1? This is just, I have read what is the syllabus of paper and very few books I have to read. For Indian society, I will give you, this is available in the market, Shankar as Society in India. You don't have to go for so many books. So only one booklet, 70-80 pages are there. And in order to understand society more, go for 12th Sociology NCERT books. 2 NCERT books are there of 12th. Even 11th, one book, Introducing Indian Society, I think, that book. So 11th one NCERT and 12th 2 NCERT. These NCERT is very useful, not only for Indian society, but for writing essay, even in other GS papers. So don't think in that exclusion or mutual kind of terms, ki this is limited to paper 1 only. So reading NCERT is very important, sociology NCERT, in order to understand this part society. But still, this ready-made booklet is available. You can take benefit from this. All the problems are covered. Everything is covered in that. So you started with mains or prelims now. Good. This is how people interview mains. That is how preparation. Very first day you start UPSC means that is an interview preparation. You speak up in the class. That is very helpful in interview because I have been quite like you only, shy, some kind of people. So that actually hampers your interest in the future. I got very low score in interview because of that. I'm here actually. Means I had to give 4th attempt because of that. Means your personality development, leadership development will happen in class. So don't be shy. You are going to be IS. You have to handle a district. So that kind of capacity building has to happen. Otherwise, you are not competent enough to become IS. And you are quite aware of the level of competition nowadays. Every year, at least 50,000 new aspirants are being added. Till prelims, I was in Delhi. So I have seen the kind of flood of people in Wajiram and Ravi class. So at least 50,000 people per year are being added in Delhi. In Pune, at least 2,000-3,000 for UPSC. So such kind of competition is rising. I'm not creating fear in you, but this is the reality. So you have to be competent enough. You have to build your capabilities so that you can actually survive the race. Just remember Charles Darwin during the whole preparation. What is the motto? What is the funda of Charles? Survival of the fittest. So those species who have adapted over a period of time to kind of changes which have happened in environment, they have survived. Homo sapiens sapiens. So you have to be Homo sapiens sapiens in UPSC. See, first attempt is the very important attempt. You have to be very well prepared. See, actually you are quite aware that you 1 year before prelims you are preparing. So kind of proper planning you have done. So you have to maintain this enthusiasm, because in first attempt you don't know your limitations, you don't know your positive qualities. So try to explore them to the fullest potential. That is very important, because in the next attempt, suppose someone fails in prelim. So in the second attempt he will start preparing very early, because the kind of fear psychosis because of failure in first attempt. So he will be desperate that I have to clear the prelims. So he's involved in that spiral. So try to be wary of that. Give your first attempt with full energy and full enthusiasm. That is very important. With slowly, means like over a period of time you become bored. How many times you have to read NCERTs, but still you have to maintain the energy. Those who are quite patient enough, they clear IS in even 9th attempt. So you might have I might be aware of Bharat Andale. Yes, I'm from same place. Okay. But मी अर्धा जिना चढला त्यांनी पूर्ण मधला चढला होता. भाषण बघितलं असेल कोणी तर he cleared UPSC in 7th attempt. I cleared in 3rd attempt. That is the difference. Otherwise nothing. But you need to be patient. And actually our modern generation is quite impatient. We want everything at our fingertips, everything in time. We don't want to compromise. But these are the qualities needed in UPSC. You have to be very patient. खऱ्या अर्थाने अधिकारी या प्रिपरेशन मध्ये घडतो, नंतर ट्रेनिंग मध्ये ऍक्च्युअली गरज नाही. तुम्ही 1-2 फेल्युअर बघितलं ना माणसामध्ये जी ह्युमिलिटी येते, दॅट इज अमेझिंग. अदरवाइज एव्हरीवन नोज दॅट. विथ नंबर ऑफ म्हणजे my observation is that with increasing number of attempts, people become humble in UPSC. And actually, process is quite enjoyable. It's transforming. It is like your first week, right? You meet me after 1 year, you will be a completely different human being, provided you study UPSC with the kind of energy. Talmalta. I don't know the proper English word for this, but talmalta havi. Talmalta means you have to be quite aware of your position, your background, what your parents are doing for keeping you in Pune. Most of the people from village, they have to manage so many things at a time. It is like you are being like in 2021, right? So no pressure of marriage, earning. So that is good. So you are having a quite formative period during which you have to do well. Paper 2, paper 3 have been covered, right? I will just give you a brief about paper 2. This year actually I scored very well in paper 2. My strategy has been working in paper 2. Last time I was like one of the lowest scorer. This time I'm one of the highest scorer in paper 2. So I will just give brief what you have to do. How many of read Lakshmikant? You start with Constitution at Work NCERT. Basic. What is Lok Sabha, what is Rajya Seva, Legislative Assembly, Legislative Council, basic things. What we read newspaper, we never know. Before starting UPSC, nobody knows Lok Sabhet kiti seat asat vagare. So basic you have to start with Constitution at Work for paper 2. Actually now very few NCERTs are needed for paper 2 because it's quite a vast paper and you have to go for standard material. If you want to note down, I will tell you the names of notes or books. First Constitution at Work, then Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant is Bible for polity. Just remember, you don't need to go for PM Bakshi, Subhas Kashyap. So many people will tell you. In the beginning, people will take book, go to babies and they will buy PM Bakshi, they will buy Kashyap, but they will not read. So go for only Lakshmikant and do 10 times revision of Lakshmikant. You will do, definitely, you need to do. Only Lakshmikant is more than enough for at least prelim part. Then for mains part, you have to go for handwritten notes of M. Puri, which are available in Delhi or even I think in Vedanta Xerox. You being a beginner, I will not go into detail of the syllabus because it's quite vast. Then even IR paper, like Modi is visiting, suppose this country, that country. You have to just remember the countries, and at the end, during the mains, you have to do because only 3 to 4 questions will be asked. Daily you can't read all the articles of C. Rajamohan that he has visited this country about Indian Ocean. At the end, one synopsis, one notes will come of vision or Chokalingam. Chokalingam will be very good. They will be available in Pune itself. Pune is becoming mini Rajendra Nagar. Actually, climate in Pune, food, everything is actually in consonance with our own, so that is good. Otherwise, in Delhi, you have to face a lot of struggle on, except studies, you have to face like fetching room, everything, you have to face so many problems. So, Delhi जाऊनच IS होता असं काहीच नाहीये. So many people in Delhi, they don't become IS. So from Prabodhini, at least 40 selections are there everywhere. So people studying in K. Sagar, Prabodhini, in every library they are clearing UPSC. So don't have that kind of myth that by going to Delhi or by going to this class you will become IS. You yourself have to help them yourself. Okay. Then 3 books: Lakshmikant, M. Puri, Chokalingam. Paper 3 syllabus covered. What are the resources someone is having? What resources have been told? Go for very less resources and do multiple times revision. That is the key to success. One of my friend, he cleared IS in very first attempt. He read hardly 8 books for GS, 2 books for philosophy optional, first attempt 283 rank IS. So with this much number of books, you can become IS. So please get rid of this fact that you need so many books, you need to study for 15 hours, 16 hours. It's not possible. First of all, kill the fear. How many of you are confident that I will clear UPSC in the very first attempt? It's a genuine feeling, that's good. Because see, it's a stratified system. No, everyone will not clear IS in very first attempt. See, I have cleared in third attempt. I told my friend in first attempt, and so many people will not clear in the 9th attempt itself. So it's a different. So those who are quite confident, they have to start. Even others are confident, they are actually quite shy, so they will not raise their fingers. Third paper, what are the resources? Please read. You might be having the list of books for paper 3, right? What is that? Or for Shriram IS economics, prelims, right? Then V. Shankar Ganeshan for concepts. Those who want to read in Marathi, go for Dipastamba or even Bhagirath Prakashan. See, reading, whether you are reading material in English or Marathi, it really doesn't matter. What matters is content. If you understand GDP in Marathi or English, that really doesn't matter. You have to solve the question, that's it. So don't have that bias, because I have seen most of my colleagues, they were having bias that reading books in Marathi is like inferior thing. But it's not like that. If you are getting conceptual clarity from Marathi books, it really doesn't matter. Though your medium for final exam is English, so it really doesn't matter. You can translate into English, but you have to get clarity from any book. Sriram will be quite heavy in the start. Go for V. Shankar Ganeshan. Before that, NCERTs, obviously. Bible, 8, 9, 10, 11. Don't go for microeconomics NCERT. It's quite technical. Go for macroeconomics, 11th NCERT. No micro. 8, 9, 10th, very good NCERTs. Basic things are there. With pictorial view they have given, starting from barter system, how today's exchange system has evolved. So, see, remember the thing. NCERTs are very heart and soul of UPSC preparation. These are the books for prelims preparation. But for main C, A, B, C, economic development, science, technology, security issues. It's quite a vast paper, but most easiest paper in UPSC. Most of the people will score more than 100 in mains on an average. Because here there is no such thing as economics. Core economics is not there in mains. See, you just read the syllabus. Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development, employment. Here your subjective approach about economics is there. It's not like hardcore economics is not there in mains, like GDP, that balance of payment, that kind of things are not there in mains. You have to think from different perspective. For all this, means I'm giving you a shortcut. Most of the booklets of vision are available for all this 1, 2, almost in infrastructure topic. Then complement this resource with economic survey. In economic survey, some facts will be there. For example, I'm just giving energy. So what is the percentage of fossil, you can say fuel in overall energy component. Then solar energy, wind energy, and other forms of renewable energy. Just remember the basic facts. I told you one fact. By 2020, average age of Indians will be 20. This is a very good fact. You need not to do very hard, very high-fi facts. Very simple facts. Like roads. So compare roads with railways. Compare railways with waterways. Such kind of basic comparison you have to do. And all these basic facts will be given in introduction of every chapter of economic survey. That's it. Economic survey nobody can understand, because I have personally met Arvind Subramaniam. His English is And he's writing very hard survey nowadays. So basic things you have to do from economic survey. Even vision or other classes are coming with small booklets. So go for that. Don't waste 10 days for reading 300 pages economic survey. I'm not saying that. Those who are having economic optional, those who want to have expert in that, they can go for that. But for us, you have to be aspirant. Then science and technology. How many engineers are there? Good. Selection rate of or success rate of engineers in UPSC is about 55%. Then 25 to 30% doctors. Then remaining space is being covered by humanities and technical other subjects, like those who are taking mechanical engineering as optional. So most of the people are from this background, like political science, sociology. So engineers are there. They are dominating UPSC nowadays. So for engineers it will be quite easy, but still you go for wizard publication for science and technology. Just one book. I'm not telling you 10 books. You might be having different resources, but wizard will cover like robotics 3-4 pages, IT 3-4 pages. That kind of things are there. And you have to be very much updated with current happenings in India, like what ISRO has done, DRDO has done, because that kind of questions will be asked in UPSC. This time I think they will ask question about DRDO. Last time they asked about AstroSat. Such kind of questions are being asked. So DRDO and ISRO are very important for prelims as well as mains. Decode the syllabus again, indigenization of technology, developing new technology. So what are the schemes or what are the measures government is taking to indigenize technology? What are the problems in Indian technical education sector? Please tell me, engineers, why we are doing UPSC. Some are having really passion, but most unfortunately so many people are coming because we are not having enough jobs. So why we are not having enough jobs, or why we are not competent enough to get place in Apple, Tesla? Why? What is the problem with our education sector? It is a part of paper 2. I'm just covering here. In general, I'm covering. Lack of practical knowledge. Then syllabus is outdated. Then see, सुरुवातीलाच किती हुशार आहे बघा, 4 पॉइंट आहेत म्हणजे that is what UPSC is there. Huh? Okay, soft skill. Then general problem, we have faced so many problems in our engineering colleges. So you have to be very acute observer of your surrounding. Laboratories are not in proper place. Lack of focus on R&D, even in IITs and IIMs. That is a pathetic thing actually, we can say. Even R&D, what is happening? Who is doing innovation in India? Very few companies, very few colleges, they are focusing on an R&D. So R&D culture is lacking in India. Because of that, America is a superpower, India is not. Because America is just selling their ideas to our countries, right? What we are doing, we are just doing coding in IT companies, Accenture, Cognizant. What we are doing coding, we are not innovating something. So lack of focus. How it can be, you can say, remedied. What we can do so that we will be having a kind of skill set needed in the market. आपल्याकडे visit असतात बघा, industrial visits. It is being celebrated as holiday or something else, right? So that kind of things is being like, not all means we can't say that government or state is completely responsible. On our part also we are not having that kind of culture. But we can bring industry academia collaboration. In America, most of the universities, your friends might be doing MS, ask them what is education system in America. One college is being surrounded by so many companies. आपल्याकडं company आहे, भोसरीला college आहे वडगावला. So that is happening in our place. So industry academic collaboration is lacking. R&D, government is also not giving enough funds for R&D. Very few people, those who want to do genuine R&D, they go to Germany, they go to America. So that is what happening in India. That is brain drain again. Basic. This is how UPSC have to link. Just we are discussing the problem of education sector, we have come to brain drain. So what are the causes of brain drain then? What can be the solutions? Link. Then security issues, go for this. Ashok Singh IPS book is there. Tata McGraw-Hill publication. And you are having enough time, so go for articles on IDSA. IDSA website, IDSA, capital IDSA. Search on Google, you will get that. few articles on IDSA. IDSA. Experts in this field, security, whether it is in border security, internal security, they are writing articles on IDSA. That gives you edge. Ashok Singh IPS is not enough actually. If you want to gain edge, you have to be competent, competitive, then you have to go for some extra resources and do extra mile efforts. Then disaster and disaster management, you might be told Yojana. One Yojana is there, search on Google, Yojana on disaster management. 60 pages Yojana is there, 15 to 20, first 3-4 chapters are enough. You want to just get a vocabulary about this disaster management, what kind of words can be used, like just prevention, adaptation, mitigation, such kind of vocabulary you have to gather from such resources, nothing else, otherwise we know. What are the internal security challenges India is now facing? It's not high-fi question, very simple question. Cyber attack. For second, good Naxalism. Daily in the news, what is daily in the news? JNK. Then what can be the problem for Indian security? Terrorism. Communication. Okay. Insurgency in Northeast. You just have to just see the map of India. What is happening in Northeast, what is happening in Central India, what is happening in North India. Then again, radicalization of youth is happening because of this ISIS and all development in cyberspace. Even security of women, that is an internal security problem. We've been in our border, means like your territory you have to cover, Indian territory, what are the problems? So many problems. Caste issues, caste conflicts, communalism, all these are examples of internal security problem. Because see, this is one, we are just seeing from one aspect, Naxalism, JNK, but you have to go for other aspects, social, economic. Again, what are the economic problems which poses threat to Indian internal security? Slums, again, these are the problems, internal security. Because like, see, Dharavi, people are saying most of the criminals are residing there. So this is an internal security problem. Regionalism, if it is turning into violence, then it is a problem. Challenges to, okay. Terrorism, most of the things are covered in Ashok Singh IPS, as well as go for selected articles of IDSA. In the starting, you will not understand most of the articles, but start reading them, you will love it. Then ethics, what resources? Lexicon, then Lexicon is a very famous book. Then what is simple? Arihant. Go for any two resources. Lexicon is good, but language in lexicon is quite tough. In the starting phase, you will not understand. So there are some articles on Mrunal, basic articles on Mrunal. What is objectivity? What is honesty? What is integrity? We in daily life use with like, we are not knowing the proper meaning of these words. If you ask you what is the difference between honesty and integrity, hardly 2% people will tell you, or 20% max. What is honesty? Difference between honesty and integrity. Honesty is the best policy. पहिले ते 5वी मध्ये आपण शिकलेला असतो. पण what is honesty and what is integrity? These are the very basic questions will be asked in ethics paper. If I give you ethics paper today, you will score more than 100. That is ethics. You don't need preparation for ethics basically. You just need to gather vocabulary needed for this paper. That is, you will get from a lexicon or some other source. If someone is interested, go for Vision IS booklets also. Means I'm reading those only. I found them interesting than lexicon. Lexicon is having very tough language, but it's quite comprehensive. It has covered all the topics. Go for only one book, lexicon or Vision. Then Mrunal, he hasn't covered complete syllabus, but whatever he has explained, it is in very lucid and simple language. That is important. If you are having time and good internet speed, go for videos. He has explained in videos also, but if you are not seeing videos also, some material is given. He has given written material and given some basic examples. Suppose I will tell you the difference between honesty and integrity. सगळे लोक असतात, if all people are there, will follow the traffic signal. If nobody is there, even in the night 11 or 12 o'clock, you will follow signal. So second is, latter is the example of integrity. First is the example of honesty. A person is going to office at 9 o'clock. He's sitting idle. He will not be moving file. He will not be moving file, but he will not do any work. That is just being honest. Uselessly honest. That is a concept in bureaucracy. That but person who is consistent in his commitment, he is not doing discrimination on the basis of caste, class, or so many factors. He will be doing his work across space and time with the absence or presence of people. It really doesn't matter. Means what you speak, what you think, what you speak, and what you do, if they are in harmony, it is called integrity. It is given by Gandhiji itself. So आपण जे बोलतो, आपण जो विचार करतो, आपण जे बोलतो आणि जे करतो, इंटिग्रिटी. आज मी म्हटलो त्यांवरील खूप अडचणी, सपोज मी म्हटलो dowry is becoming a great threat to Indian marriage system, and tomorrow if I am taking dowry of 1 crore rupees, so I am not a person with integrity, because what I am speaking, I am not acting on it. So that is example of integrity. You have to just remember very basic things. That's why I told you, if I give paper, you will score more than 100, because everyone is having their own viewpoint, perspectives. That matters a lot, and UPSC values originality. So everyone will get good marks in ethics. So don't worry about ethics. So ethics is not at all a preparation. During this whole preparation process, indirectly you are doing the preparation of ethics, but you have to just know the nuance aspect, like what is the difference between honesty, integrity, objectivity, impartiality, neutrality. All these are the qualities of a good civil servant. But we know how many people are having this much qualities. Even I am not having all the qualities. See, that is why training is there. If all the qualities would have been present in bureaucrats, there would have been no corruption in India. But that is not the case. So this is about ethics, all GS papers, very few books. What I have told is more than enough. A person have become IS in the very first attempt. I have become IRS in third attempt with these resources. But number of revisions. So many, like one book 5 to 10 times, minimum. Again, if someone is having great grasping power, he will cover in first or second attempt, second revision itself. Who is having problem about notes making? Ask. See, don't take notes in the first reading. First reading, you just understand the scope of that book or subject. Second reading, you can read it completely. In third reading, you go for the notes, for the topics or for the sentences which you don't remember. But that is what my strategy. And see, you can't jot down all the points in NCERTs, right? So many NCERTs you are going to read. So do first reading. In first reading, you will understand 50-60%. Second reading, you will go for 70 to 80%. Third reading, almost 100%. In that 100%, suppose a particular chapter of Lakshmikant is there, president. You have to just remember the glaring facts about president. What is different about president? Those who are participating in the election of president. So you have to compare it with vice president. Basic things you have to note down. Otherwise, don't take notes of Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant itself is a notes. Means he is very concise book, though it's like a tome, but it's a concise book. Go for notes of this geography NCERTs, because like 6 to 7 NCERTs you are going to read throughout the preparation. First reading you do it, underline kara, highlight kara tumcha na. But second, third reading you go for notes. If you are very clear in very first reading, then go for notes in the second. Notes making is very compulsory. Not compulsory, but it's very good. Suppose prelim is 1 week. Then notes will be very handy for you, because there will be a lot of pressure, anxiety will naturally come. So notes will be very helpful during that time. Even mains also, optional if you are having notes. GS when you are having 10-20 pages notes. So that will be quite useful, because see, paper will be like on consecutive days, next paper, 2 papers will be there. Then language paper, then optional paper. Hardly a 1 day's leave will be there for optional. So be prepared for that also. So notes making is very important. So in the beginning phase itself, you have to prepare notes. But I am very casual till third attempt. I haven't prepared notes, but I will prepare definitely in this attempt. But if it is working for me, it doesn't mean it will work for me. So many people will, even I have seen so many people will study mathematics sums. They will study sums. They will not, and they are getting good marks. So they are having different kind of IQ. So everyone has to acknowledge their aptitude. मला लिहून लक्षात राहतं. Somebody just read and he will remember it or she will remember it. So you have to understand your positive qualities, negative weaknesses, I will say. So go for that. It's very personalized strategy. Means if some Tina Davi has scored very well with this strategy, that doesn't mean that will be applicable for you and me, right? Everyone has to have a different strategy. And as you are going to become IS, IPS, IRS, so big officers, right? So you have to be very independent, and that this is nurturing phase. In this phase itself, you will become IS. If you think that I can become IS, then only you will become IS. People will laugh, people will mock if you don't clear in first attempt prelims. फारच हुशार म्हणत होती, काहीच झालं नाही. बरोबर आहे? असं काय नसतं. You have to, means don't worry too much about the society. See, in the initial phase, you will not feel any pressure, tension. But see, take this attempt very seriously, because first attempt मध्ये घरचे पण काहीच बोलत नाही. कारण आपल्या the kind of myth being perpetuated over a period of time about UPSC that you need 4 attempts, you need 5 years. Such kind of myth is being created because of it. People will not actually criticize you in the first attempt, but after second and third attempt, people will question your abilities. But you have to be very confident about yourself, because confidence, self-belief are key belief to success. I'm not just saying it, but I have experienced it. Unless and until you are confident about yourself, you will become. I was very confident in this attempt I will be selected. Unfortunately, I got very low score in interview. Otherwise, I got very good score in mains, like IAS people. Still see. But I was very sure that, because last attempt I missed by 9 marks. So I was quite sure that I will be in the list anyhow. Whether it is 1000 or first, I don't know. But I will. That kind of confidence will come after 1 or 2 years of sound preparation. Sound preparation, पुण्यात आले, अलकाला आले, विजयला चालले, मराठी पिक्चर आला, हिंदी, हे आहे, हे बघाच. बट काय माहिती का, थोडं आपण ज्या करण्यासाठी आलोय ना, ते करण्याचं विसरू नका, हे सांगायचं मला. See, watching movies, watching anything, that is good. To be very happy. Unless and until you are happy, you can't be very well prepared for UPSC. How many localites are there? Pune. Okay. From rural background? Other are from city? Oh, good. Means people, previously, you know, only people from villages will go for MPS and UPSC, but the kind of craze UPSC has created in recent 2 years, it is drawing so many people from different fields. People doing MD medicine, people topper in IITs, IIMs, people doing MS in USA, they are coming to UPSC. The kind of craze UPSC has created, I don't know what is the exact reason, though I being a part of insider, but I still don't know the reason. I want to tell this, that you'd be having some motivation. Whatever the motivation is, that you have to be very firm about that motivation, that why I have started UPSC. So if you face failure in the future, you will remember why I have started UPSC. I'm not saying that everyone should do that social and public service. That seems to be rhetoric nowadays, because the kind of state of affairs in our country are there. So that is rhetoric. You will be having some motivation. Be firm about that motivation, because that is going to be the guiding force throughout this grueling preparation process. You have to be very firm. Everyone is having some motivation. I'm not going to question ulterior motives or positive intentions. Everyone is having different intentions. You have to go. And because of that only, you will be in a position to stomach the failures which will come during the preparation process. I will go for Indian society part now. I will give 2 questions, write them, then I will tell you how to write those questions. I'm not going to tell you the perfect answer, because there is no such thing as a perfect answer, first of all. No role model, no model answers, nothing else. प्रत्येकाच्या answerला value आहे. Originality will be valued in UPSC. First question, I will give basic questions. What I have told. What is the impact of globalization on Indian society? Write in 200 words. You are having, I will give you 20 minutes for 2 questions. Because instead of 3 hours, if you are given 4 hours, everyone will top in UPSC, everyone will get good marks. Because time pressure, that is very important. What is the impact of globalization on Indian society? Second, what are the factors responsible for the rising status of women in urban India? Two questions, 200 words per question, 20 minutes. Everyone has written the question. First, what is the impact of globalization on Indian society? Second, what are the factors responsible for rising status in women in urban India? दुसरा असेल तर कुठला काय हा सगळ्यांनी लिहायचंय बरं का. मराठीतल्या हा इंग्लिशमध्ये लिहा, फक्त लिहा तुमचे तुमचे विचार. दिस इज लाईक UPSC इज ऑल अबाउट रायटिंग. प्रिलिम इज जस्ट एंट्री पास.